Legal dictation number 12, speed 100 words per minute, start. In appropriate cases, the court, for eliminating any subjective element of personal preference which may remain hidden in the subconscious mind and may unconsciously affect a proper objective assessment, may draw up the evidence on record and also consider the views expressed by reputed or recognized authors of literature on such questions if there be any for his own consideration and satisfaction, to enable the court to discharge the duty of making a proper assessment. The commitment to freedom demands that it cannot be suppressed unless the situations created by allowing the freedom are pressing and the community interest is endangered. The anticipated danger should not be remote, conjectural, or far-fetched. It should have approximate and direct nexus with the expression. The expression of thought should be dangerous to the public interest. In other words, the expression should be inseparable, like the equivalent of a spark in a power key. Promiscuous rending is necessary to the constituting of human nature. The attempt to keep out evil doctrine by licensing is like the exploit of the gallant man who thought to kept out the crows by shutting his park gate. Society must lean in favor of free speech and expression, and courts must be very cautious while upholding restrictions imposed on grounds of nations such as decency or morality. The production of wealth, as economists put it, consists in the creation of utilities. Consumption consists in the act of taking such advantage of the commodities and services produced as constitutes the utilization thereof. For each commodity there is ordinarily what is generally considered to be the final act of consumption. For some commodities there may be even more than one kind of final consumption. It may even happen in such cases that after one consumer has performed part of the final act of consumption, another portion of the final act of consumption may be performed by his heir or successor in interest, a transferee, or even one who has obtained possession by wrongful means. But the fact that there is for each commodity which may be considered ordinarily to be the final act of consumption should not make us forget that in reaching the stage at which this final net of consumption takes place, the commodity may pass through different stages of production, and for such different stages there would exist one or more intermediate nets of consumption. It is attempted to give a conceptual backup to the proposal of stringent measures and a legal mechanism to be adopted to cocoon the privacy right which has received too little attention in India. It is of utmost importance that before delving into the question as to what rights are being infringed, a preliminary inquiry into the necessity of such probing be made, and why the violation of right to privacy is being considered today with increased anxiety. Is it that we were not concerned about our right to privacy before the information technology age? Or is it that such rights were not being violated before at all? Since the days of the Industrial Revolution, we have been witnessing various inventions coming up, making our lives easier. Many electronic devices help us in various ways. This becomes clear if one examines the developments that took place in the communication sector. The technological revolutions in this sector have made it possible for the people to communicate among themselves, seeking boundaries. There are no impediments in communications. There were even marriages held across the telegraphic lines with the priest on the one side and the couple on the other side of the line.